Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. What is happening? We had some last-second issues, but we are here. I hope you, like I said in the chat, with my newly found computer skills and the help of my brother from another mother, Mr. Tony Silo. Tony, what's happening, my man?
Well, I went from like 40 degrees back to 80 degrees, and it was much welcome. I am not even in my house 5 minutes, and I'm back on.
You just got in right now.
I don't even. I have a.
I never thought you were going to make it. Honestly, when you called me and said you got to go back to Florida, I didn't think you were going to make it.
Yes, I am here. I'm ready. Let's get this done. The only thing was Jimmy was not able to get back to his Wi-Fi hub, and Jimmy does not have perfect telephone skills yet, so I don't really know how to do it. Like,
we couldn't talk him through it, and it's just that's why I let the chat know a couple minutes ago we were having this little slight delay.
So here's what we're gonna. Let's do it like this. Tonight we're going to get to a little bit of sports, but we also want to talk to the chat and see what you guys want to do, because we are going to be going ahead with a series now with ourselves and Jimmy. And right now, Jimmy is the highest ranking member that never spoke to the government on here. So, well, not really. He's second. Joey's still first in that.
Maybe people in the chat want to ask us questions about anything in that life or anything.
And any questions you have?
Open forum.
If I have the answer, you can have an answer,
and you'll get an answer.
Why don't we go through the chat and say hello first?
Yeah, please do.
All right, so we got Matt in there. We got Cinnamon Girl, of course, mainstay right here. Thank you so much. Joetown Jack, Kelly. I got myself again in there. I mean, Dave T. Good to see you, Dave T. You're always working hard with that laborers union. He's a good man. And that's about it right now. Let me see what's on top. That's it, but that's good enough for us. I really don't care what we got as long as we got the people we got. Tommy Stiggs is here. How you doing, Tommy? It's been a quick week, quick turnaround, back and forth on these damn planes. You get older, it doesn't help, but I feel pretty. So we're going into a crazy day. Yeah, we're going into a stage next week. When we're starting next week, it's not like we need to plan it out. We already have everything we need. We're going to be doing some 2 a week, some 1 a week. So we are going 100% with ourselves. Hey, Michael Morma, how are you? It's going to be me, myself, Craig, and Jimmy DeMonica, and we're going to be asking you guys to write in questions, and we're going to give you everything that is actual fact. No bullshit. So let me give you guys a little bit of insight on where Jimmy comes from. So you might have something that you want to ask. Jimmy's dad was second in command in the state of New Jersey in the Gambino crime family. He had little Sammy behind him, and he had Jimmy CABERT above him. Okay, and then Jimmy was like, he used to walk neck and neck, hand in hand with little Sammy, as they called him, but Sammy was a good guy. He went away, he came home. Sam was actually running things when Jimmy's dad and CABERT were out. So Jimmy, we got the best of all the worlds. Jimmy had a father who was second in command. He was very close with CABERT, who was first in command. And he was very close to little Sammy, who became in command when both of them were incarcerated. So we can give you whatever you guys want out of that. So just please.
I already got one question.
Go ahead, shoot.
Joetown Jack is asking me, Craig, do you know Joe LaFranchi?
Where is he from, Joetown Jack? Maybe
nickname? I can tell you right off the bat, the name does not ring a bell, but I would love to know the years he was around. It's open book. It's in the paper. It's all over. The years he was around the Lucchese family. So
I don't know Joe.
I'm not. I'll say it's out there. So it's in headlines. So that's where I was. Everybody knows that. If not, you know it now. I've said it on shows. They had stuff. You could find it. Well, anyway, I'd love to know the years Joe was around, but it does not ring a bell.
BKNY, yes. Me and Jimmy have talked about when he was in Otisville. I had a cousin that was in Otisville at the same exact time, and Jimmy's dad was there. And I don't know if you were there when Jimmy's dad was there or not there, but Jimmy used to play around with the cards all the time, he told us.
I knew of Vinny TV Baldamenti from Westchester. They called him TV.
That'll definitely be asked down the road.
Union guy. What local? If you could get laborers union, what union, Joe Town? If you give me now it's a little different now. I thought you meant the other thing. You give me what kind of union, I'll give you a better idea. It doesn't mean the name sounds familiar, but there's a million Joes. I knew a lot of Joes. I come from a family where everybody was Joe. My grandfather, my father, brother, endless.
A lot of Joes in that world. A lot of Joes, a lot of Jack of all trades.
Maddie's telling us local one. Okay. Maddie, are you telling me Joe LaFranci's from local one? If that's the case, put a thumbs up.
Hey, Chris,
Jack.
I choose that chick as the thumbnail.
As the thumbnail, Jimmy isn't in the photo.
You sure about that?
You sure about that? Type right-hand corner. Jimmy is in the photo. Chris Breeder. Jimmy is in the photo. Otherwise, I wouldn't have put it up. It's already. I'm coming off
to the right. Why don't you hold on? I got him. Why don't you look to the right and you see him?
Top right corner. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been put up.
Black hair straight back. Oh, I know why. He's got the. Let me get the full picture. Hold on. I know what he's got. He's right.
Go into the community. I put out a post. He's in it.
Hold on.
With CABERT, his father. I know.
Yeah, but the way but the way it comes up in the chat, it doesn't show the same. So.
Oh, okay.
He's in the top right-hand corner in our community page.
Top right-hand corner. He's about 35 years younger.
You can push, and you can see him right where.
I think he's next to Fat Don Borghese. I think so.
He is right there. Yes. So, Chris Breeder, trick question or what?
Oh, what's happening, bud?
Who's that?
Yo, Tom Jack, if you get back to me on that, if we know what union, trade union, carpenter, plumber, laborers, teamster. Not that it matters, just curious. Joe LaFranchi.
Chris, go to the community page, push the picture, and pinch it with your.
You want me to come out of this and pull it up?
Can you put it up? Put it up.
Let me see if I can make magic here.
Hey,
well, how about Chris sends us an email and we'll send him it right now. I'll have somebody send it to him right now.
Do whatever you want to do.
I mean, I can't stop the show to send a picture, but that I can do.
He's right here. I got him in my picture.
Does anybody have a hard time or not recognizing Jimmy in the thumbnail? If nobody sees Jimmy in that thumbnail, let us know that we made it up.
It's a figment of your imagination.
Oh, Billy, what's happening, my brother? Down with Stacks in the house.
Stacks is there. Hey, that was a good interview you had with Pedge.
Yeah, definitely. Stacks, do me a favor.
Pedge guy.
He drop his own. Anybody got to drop their links? Drop them.
Yeah.
I think Jimmy answered this question, not about Noel Modica, because Jimmy's name is Modica.
I'll answer it. He's not related to Noel. Two people asked that question already. He's not related to any Modicas in New York.
Local 282, the Teamsters, that is the trucking union. The short answer is no. I did not know Joe LaFranchi. Had many friends in that local and in that life, in the Wise Guy life, that were part of 282. I don't know what years Joe LaFranchi was either a truck driver or running it, and I have friends that are truck drivers in 282. So laborers, teamsters, you do work together depending on the type of work you do. When I first got into construction, my first 7 years was with an excavation union, heavy construction, which is local 731 in New York. You're working with backhoe operators and truck drivers all the time because you're in the street doing excavation work. When you're doing high rise, which would be laborers local 79, you're going up. You're not really dealing with truck drivers so much at all.
No,
on the street. Bobby Sasso, that's correct. Brooklyn 123, Bobby Sasso, absolutely correct. From if I'm correct, Bobby Sasso might have lived in Malibu, Queens. Could be
Bobby
off on
Sassa
that.
No, Bobby Sassa lived about 8 houses away from me at one time.
Bayside, I knew Sassa was a Queens guy.
No, Whitestone.
Whitestone,
before
okay.
I moved.
I
Before
knew
I
he was
went to
Queens
Bayside,
guy.
before I moved to Bayside, I was in Whitestone.
Brooklyn 1, 2, 3. Yeah, as a matter of fact, you know what? This gives me the opportunity. We're talking about 282. I'm going to say this because I'm sure when Dex gets in here, he knows all these guys. I'm going to say, and I always say I'll only talk about things I know or somebody I've had dealings with. As a young kid, as a young laborer, I became friends with another young laborer, a young 282 guy. We worked side by side a lot. His name was Dino. Dino C, as a matter of fact. He was 18 like me. Well, we had a big beef on the job, and he gets his older brother to come down, and his dad comes down. And when I tell you, 2 guys shut this job down. And it turns out that it's Joe C, the issue with the funeral home with the B guys and the Bonanos. And his father was Joe Camerano Sr. And Dino was Dino Camerano. And his older brother was Joe Camerano Jr., who just had that issue not too long ago with those other guys. But I grew up, me and Dino spent time together as kids. He was a Teamster, I was a laborer.
Yeah, well, what happened at the funeral home was a bunch of bullshit, and that's not the way gentlemen in that.
I just figured that'd be a great time. Not Calabro. Camerano. I know who Calabro is. This kid's name was Dino Camerano. His father was called Joe Saunders, but his last name was Camerano.
Dino Caballero was
right. They called him Joe Brooklyn. Saunders and Joe Saunders Jr., but their last names was Camerano.
Yes, he was.
Some guys called him Joe C, but Dino Calabro, he's the one. Wasn't he involved with the way before my time, the Cotolo hit? Or part of
he took part of the Cotolo hit.
Great question, Tony. I mean, I could answer it, but if you want to take it, I'll take it. I'll take it. Let's play that.
Tell me what it. I can't see. Tell me what it is.
All right. Why did Joe C get shelved? I can answer it if you. Well, you got it.
Craig, you go, and then we'll see if you heard in that family, and I can tell you what I heard.
All right. In my opinion. It was either one or two things. He goes to war with Mikey Nose after what they did to him in the disrespect. There's a power struggle, and for whatever reason, they didn't want Joe around. His father had died, was a powerhouse. Joe C that you're talking about was well respected and loved, and maybe the Bronx guy, Mikey knows. Everybody knows who it is. I'm sure the guy, the cheese eater, he was part of that. I'm sure he spoke on it, but I know through some people, I had a lot of banana friends. He was well respected and loved, and it was one or two things. He goes to war with them back, or he said, "Fuck it, put me on the shelf. You know what? My father's dead. Fuck it, I'm out. I got the easy way out." They did me a favor. I don't know, Tom. What do you? I mean, they were wrong. If you're asking me, I think it's fucking crazy that he got shelved. I think they were worried about it.
Well, sometimes it's like I do it the way somebody explained it to me one day. Sometimes you got people gonna get caught or charged with something, okay? And there was a big talk in that family. From what I was told, I wasn't in that family, but this is what I told. It wasn't only Joe C. It was Joe C and 3 other guys. He pretty much waxed that whole thing, but I can't mention their names. I actually seen one of them this morning in the diner. So.
Well, one of them died. He just died. His father-in-law died. He was a straightened out guy for a long time with them.
Yeah, he passed, but it was 4 in total. It was 4 of them in total. It wasn't only Joe C.
Yeah, but him being the biggest of the names, because there was a time there with Vinny in jail where Joe C was right with Mikey Knowles, right under him. It was almost like a panel type thing. Mikey had the power, but I think they were worried.
Well, here's another thing. He was with that Chicklet guy. I think we all know who that guy is, right? Joe C was kind of tight with him, and he was kind of tight with him. And who the hell knows what's going to happen when a rat turns over if your name's going to come mentioned. So you want to separate yourself sometimes. Make sense? And it's like a union job. It's like a job. It's like not a union job because there's always somebody to sit down and talk for you. But it's like running a business. Sometimes you have to shelve the person for the betterment of the business. And in that case, how did Mikey rise to the top? Is a whole nother story for somebody who's coming up.
Another story for another day, and maybe
So now I will tell you this.
Close ties with a lot of those guys.
I will tell you this. What happened in the funeral home? They were talk amongst a lot of different
right.
I will tell you that much that I know, and he was either going to be shelved for life, worse, or go to another place. Go ahead, you shoot.
Dex Dallas is in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this gentleman has first-hand knowledge, he has first-hand knowledge. And he says one reason was the defense he used during his trial, innocent or not, he has to say things he should have, could have, or would have. That's exactly. So I guess what Dex is saying is, if I'm reading, I know this person over 30 years, 40 years, exactly. Okay. He's saying that they didn't like how Joe went to trial, I'm gathering, and the responses he gave. If I'm getting that right. Dex, if I'm right, say that.
Let me say it I just texted somebody who's very close to him. What they did in the courtroom, you're not allowed to do, okay? And Dex is 100% right. They kind of fucking
He's close with all those guys. Very, very.
Yeah, I know. He's mentioned him in this text.
I know
he is. What they did is they absolutely shouldn't have did the tactics they used in that trial. And you're responsible for what you do during trial. And it was like Carmine Persico had to get a commission vote to tell him he couldn't use that defense. He wanted to open up, admit that there was that life in court. Carmine Persico did. And they all said absolutely not. There were a couple of other guys who wanted to turn. You listen to some of these informants that they said that the attorney representing John Jr. and Vinny Bassiano wanted to both have them admit it. John Jr. said absolutely not right away. Vinny, he wasn't at the meeting because you couldn't have two guys from different families at a lawyer meeting like that in the can. But Sicali is full of shit. Vinny never wanted to admit to anything. He just didn't want to do jail time, and that was why he flipped. So, there's what you do in trial, you're responsible for if your lawyer comes up with it or not. And he came up with a fucking defense that he should have been thrown out at the time. But what he did at a funeral home.
Thanks for that, brother. Thanks, Tom.
You got it. But what
I just wanted to say what little bit I had, although, Lucchese, West Side, Bananas, you have friends all over, as you could have friends. Dex and me know each other over 40 years, you and me 30, and we're all in different places, but it didn't stop the love we had for each other.
Well, that's basically what happened. And when we have a guest on, I'm texting with him right this second. He will explain the whole thing because I did not really speak to those guys. I like Josie. Josie's a nice guy, but I didn't really know his business out there. I knew other people that we talked about in the Lucchese's that are still alive, so you're not going to hear their names.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I'm 56 years old. I can't give away people who are outside still.
Absolutely. So any more of these types of questions, shoot away, fire away, and then we'll take this. We can go anywhere we want with this. Let's have some fun here tonight, man. Everybody, unless,
Oh, we got 26 people.
Yeah, so yeah, listen. This is what we do, man. You know, but if there's questions people have, ask them. We're gonna answer them. Obviously, 100% honest. Like he asked me about Joe LaFranchi. Can't say I know him if I didn't know him.
I did not know him. He had to be from a union.
I mean, I knew 282. That helped. You know, that made me. You know,
that was somebody else that was with our guys that dealt with those guys. I didn't have that kind of power to deal with those guys. I knew who they were, but I didn't play with. You know, wasn't my position. Craig, did you work for 79? If so, what years?
I was a laborer. I was a laborer with 79 for.
And that question is from Michael Moormile.
Yeah, Michael. I was in with 79 right after 2001. I got grabbed. I wind up jumping into 79 for on and off about 4 years, 5 years in high rise. I was on one job basically, and then from there, I got sent over to organize with 78. Michael.
All right, let me start with Chris Breeder. Can you go into more detail about what Carmine Persico did wrong during the commission trial? Absolutely. Okay, they're all dead. Here's what happened. Carmine Persico wanted to admit that it was a mafia. That's exactly word for word. It's down on the bottom. Chris Breeder.
Got it. Yeah, great question, right. Chris.
So let me answer it. He wanted to admit that there was a mafia. It came out. He was also co-counsel on his side. And it came around to the other bosses that were on trial at the time. You had Rusty Restella, you had Paul Castellano, you had Tony Ducks, you had Fat Tony, okay? And absolutely not. Nobody would go for that defense. And it was knocked down. That's what Carmine Persico did wrong. Carmine Persico did not rat like people have said in the past. Carmine Persico did his time like a man, and he looked like it never bothered him. I'm going to answer one more question quick on here. Somebody asked if I ever went up to Fat Tony's farm. No, I did not. When Fat Tony went away, I was only, I think, 22 at the time. 21 or 22.
You think I should speak on Fat Tony a little bit, Tony?
You can. You can.
Family I'm married into. Should I?
Go ahead.
You know what? Should I? Maybe we'll hold it for another time.
But about the farm, no, I didn't. But I knew a lot of people up there later in life, and he was like a regular citizen up there. Everybody liked him. Pretty much everybody minded their own business up there, from what I understand.
Michael,
I was in the next tier.
Michael, you worked at Swiss Hotel. I must have been. I worked at the Carlisle with a small outfit before I wind up jumping over to 78 as a representative. The Carlisle, the Sherry Netherland, the Pierre, a lot of those high-end hotels on Central Park West. Matt, Fat Tony's my favorite of all time.
I tell you what, I did see him uptown. The guy was a character, you know, and I'll tell you something else about Fat Tony. He wasn't shy to talk to you, even if you were a young kid. Trust me when I tell you. And I can't talk about the guy he groomed and did a favor for his dad, but it's a great story. Maybe somebody else will talk about it, but he took a 16-year-old kid and he made him to what he is today. And Fat Tony was the most pleasant guy in the world in person. Also, if you fucked him over, you had a big problem. He would also let you know about that, and he had some badasses around him at all times.
I love these questions, man. I love this shit. Hold on, I'm finding some good ones here. So, I got a story about Fat Tony, the philanthropist. Absolutely. I just saw one. Oh, Tony, this is for you. Tony, did you ever visit? This is Matty asking this. Did you ever visit Fat Tony's farm in Rhinebeck?
No, that's what I was just answering. I was only like 20 to 22 when he went away. I was still young when he went away. You know, when he went away in the commission trial, I was just a kid.
What year is that? That's like what, 80?
I think they finally went away. Yeah, because Paul had gotten killed. Well, hold on a second. Paul had gotten killed in '86, so they had to delay the trial a little bit, and they had to figure out how they were going to try them. So it had to be '87.
We got
I think it was
Tom, we got one here. Maybe you can handle.
What is it?
It's from a gentleman or female. I'm not sure. Oh well, okay. New to the room.
No.
Tony, have you ever dealt with, or me, any old Genovese guys like Andy Gerardo or Timo, Newark gambling docs?
Me, no, but I know Jimmy did.
Jimmy did for sure.
Jimmy was dealing with those guys. Even though Jimmy was a Gambino, Jimmy was dealing with these guys over there.
I
only dealt with two people. I only dealt with two people who lived in New Jersey that I had to meet to just give them something or talk to them about something real quick. I wasn't in that high of a position to deal with that kind of stuff, guys.
Yeah, I've said this before. The only dealings I had in Jersey with the people I was with, once a week, it usually was always once a week. I was always in this. I've said it. I think I told Tommy Stiggs this because I didn't know the area. It was just all these Portuguese restaurants. I used to just visit somebody and leave. So ate and left. And that was in. Jimmy wound up telling me that whole Portuguese area is in that, I think, Down Neck area. And I'm going back 20 years. And he said it's still that way, like a very Portuguese restaurants and shit like that.
All right. Cool.
Here comes a question, Tom, for us.
Yeah.
Think Stiggs knew them guys in Jersey? Probably so, right? It's his backyard.
Well,
but I can tell you that guys from my backyard, I didn't know. That's the truth. But maybe Tommy did.
I knew Angelo the Hawk very well because he was at all the feasts since I was a kid, and then I used to go get to see him, and then he went away. And that was the end of that. But he did do time in Central Florida, so he was there for quite a while. No, I know about 4 or 5 guys up in Massachusetts, but much lower level. Tommy Stiggs said he knew Tino.
All right, here, Tommy's got an answer. Yes, sir. He knew. I gather he knows Tino.
Wasn't around back then. I never went to that side for that. Nope.
Again, another world. To me,
Michael Moormile, where's the great food, buddy? Which one? Massachusetts had great food. A lot of times we stopped off in New Haven for some food.
He's talking about Tino Uerma?
Yes.
You see?
You know him. Didn't you know him?
What I'm saying is this. I didn't know I didn't know he was from Tommy's area. And the gentleman didn't phrase it as that.
Tino worked in Jersey, but I knew of him, but I didn't know him personally. No.
Yeah, big name. But again, I didn't have any dealings with him ever. So I'm not going to say I did.
Let me say a little something about what Matt's trying to get at. Matt, you're absolutely right. He did have a farm there. He left every Thursday night, unless there was a meeting on Friday. He was never.
Oh, Jimmy's here. Jimmy's here in the chat, Tone. He knew Tino and Mikey Capola personally, Tom. If that maybe he wants the chat to know.
I just said Jimmy knew.
Jimmy's in the chat.
Jimmy will come on and talk about it. Let me see something first.
Jimmy's gonna come on twice this week. The chat is gonna choose what days he wants, and they want to see him. And we got some really good stuff we're gonna cover.
Stiggs is saying he went by Tino the Greek. Jersey stuff.
Probably every paper. I mean, I don't know. Tom, you want to take that one?
I'm not going to talk on something I don't know. I didn't know anybody over there, and I'm going to assume they didn't know anybody on this side too well. Jimmy's dad did. I met him quite a few times. I didn't know many guys in Jersey except from the west side, but not on the docks at all. No. The
crazy thing is, Mike, the captain that ran my crew, he's dead. Name was Richie DeLuca. He's dead. Richie lived in Jersey. He lived in Fort Lee. So everybody rush right now and go look it up.
Artie Negro was
always a moron. There's always somebody. Go do it. Go do your work.
Chris Brady said Artie Negro was a...
He's from Fort Lee, but he was Bronx guy, through and through.
Okay,
he lived in Jersey.
Artie Negro was not a Massachusetts guy. He dealt with their issues. He was not from Massachusetts.
Artie had an office in Morris Park and on Arthur Avenue.
Absolutely. Trooper and Fat Tony's.
I mean, I don't know about the Massachusetts thing, maybe because that rat Anthony Aralotta says he dealt with Artie. That's true. Maybe, possibly. Maybe it is true. Not my house, but I can tell you,
Listen,
I was introduced to Artie.
I know guys who, hold on, Craig. I know guys who knew Aralotta and dealt with Aralotta. They're all alive. Okay, Mr. Breeder, you're not going to get me to talk about people that are alive. End of story. First of all, I don't even like talking about some people that are deceased because it's a breach of, your agreement in that lifestyle. So, maybe you've read about them. Why don't you tell me what you know about them?
They dealt with Artie, so maybe he represented again.
Artie was like a problem solver. He was like not a problem solver. Artie was more like the guy who went in between the families. Artie dealt with a lot of things in Massachusetts, but he was not a Massachusetts guy.
No, he's Bronx guy.
Gianni, is that not true?
It's a good one.
What is it?
Chris Breeder.
Exactly. Gianni's 100. Well, hold on a second. Gianni's
Let's
right.
stay with Gianni. Go ahead.
Chris Breeder, you're a nice guy in multiple chats, but you're asking to talk about people who are alive, maybe not active like they used to be active. That isn't going to happen here. Anybody who talks about names who didn't rat is basically dry snitching a lot if they're still alive. Unless it's yourself and you feel like talking about yourself, I don't believe in that. So when you go to other podcasts, hold on, because now I'm about to straighten this shit out. When you go to other people's chat and you hear them talking like they were with all these guys,
let them fire away. Listen, whoever don't want to be here, don't have to be here. Listen, we're not historians, right? We're not historians. We don't go to fucking Wikipedia or whatever news site. I don't sit on the fucking phone and say, tell me about Craig Gatto, tell me about this one, I don't have to, I don't want to. Okay? I study tape of football, sports.
And Gianni's 100% right. You shouldn't talk about it. I'm not even going to say the guy's name.
You have to do your homework. You know what I mean? You're like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not a historian. There's channels that they're fucking historians. They never cracked an egg. They didn't crack a fucking egg. They don't know what it's like to sit in a car and handle something on your way to handle something. And I'm not talking about, it could be anything. Never had a conversation with somebody in that life.
That's
what
like
they heard about.
Well, hold on, Craig, because
fucking clowns.
Obviously we speak to
fucking clowns.
Hold on a second.
I'm not gonna blow it up. You know that.
Let me put it diplomatically. There's a couple of guys on here that make like they knew all these, like they knew all these guys personally. Absolutely not. I've actually been over to Jersey this past week. I just landed in Florida. A lot of guys don't know a lot of guys. Trust me when I tell you that. And it will come up sooner than later.
Why? Somebody's saying everybody should know everybody?
I guess that's what Chris Breeder was trying to say.
But Chris, come back with that question. I'd love to really try to answer it.
Let me.
Just seeing some people just pick and choose who they will and won't talk about. It gets a little confusing. Okay, so that sounds to me like you, and that's good for you. You saved yourself a big headache. You never got arrested or pinched in that life. You don't know anything really truly about the inner workings of the life. So if that's the case, I understand the question. Maybe it is confusing. It probably would sound like a giant riddle. It would. But
let me explain it. Let me explain it the way when we spoke off camera with a couple of people. It is the most disrespectful fucking thing in this world to bring up somebody's name. You might laugh and say, "Oh, I knew this guy and I did this and I did that." That's good for you. You're a dry fucking snitch. Okay? I watched the show last night. I got to tell you right now. I think I spoke to you when I was in traveling. I heard about 6 dry snitch fucking comments last night. All right? They're not going to say this, but I'm going to tell you who did this. That's a dry snitch. Okay? So I don't believe in that.
Yeah, I'm glad. But you know what? Let's get this shit out in the open because I can't be the guy.
It's not picking and fucking choosing, but it's not fucking picking and choosing.
I hate that.
About picking it. It's not about picking and choosing. It's about being respectful.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what it's about. You don't know anything about their life. Anybody who wants to go mention names every day.
You're supposed to be all right with somebody, and it's no different than in the street, but in the street you'll handle it. But it's amazing that even through YouTube you can see who's who. It's a little tougher because it's not up in your face. But you can get a read on. I can get a read on somebody on YouTube, right?
Craig,
can you?
Craig, I got to read on a lot of guys. I told you.
Yeah, and it still can irritate you the way it would in the street if somebody disappoints you, meaning that you thought they were okay, and then you find out they're not okay. Not wise, just like they're cool with you when they want to be cool with you, and then they're jerk offs. Really?
No, hold on.
And they'll expose themselves.
Time out. Here's the deal. It's supposed to be secret. Okay, that's number one. Okay, anybody who talks about it and gives you the comfort of it, I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming the guy who gives you the kind of power to ask these questions because names are mentioned. Only names that are mentioned are names that have said it's okay to mention me. I can guarantee you go to 8 different chats right now. Hold on, Craig. I can guarantee you right this second, go to 8 different chats. People are fucking steaming that their names or relatives' names have come up. And I got that this week. And I told you about it the other night. Somebody's like, why the fuck are they mentioning this guy's name? That guy's dead or in jail. I didn't even know the guy. Never heard of the guy.
What is Chris trying? Chris, tell me what's hypocritical, brother. Let me try to explain this. Let me understand what's hypocritical.
Chris, tell me what's hypocritical, man.
Yeah, say it. Get it off your chest, brother. Breathe.
No, let him talk. Don't delete the fucking guy. Let him talk, and I'm going to tell you why. Maybe he's in chats where people are saying they do know more than they actually fucking know. We'll expose that too. Like shows certain people have been on with shaded faces. Hold on, Craig. Like shows certain content creators have been on in the past, but won't fucking mention it. Like shows certain content creators have been on in the past with John fucking Panisi. I have the fucking video. It's coming sooner or later. Let me tell you something, okay, gentlemen and ladies? You have no idea by going into certain people's chats the bullshit they're fucking spewing, okay? But it's supposed to be discreet and respectful. And the way that fucking guy is talking, he don't know either one of the motherfucking terms, okay? And where he's learning these names from, it's either a fucking book or a fucking content creator that is full of fucking shit. You go.
Thank you, John. No, I listen. Not just because you're my partner here, but it's everything is it's a fact. But I'm trying to really give Chris, the opportunity to really express himself and to, if he's being a wise ass or somebody's telling him.
I don't think he's being a wise ass.
I want to be able to try to help him understand it. If it's hypocritical, then it's hypocritical. That's how you feel it.
No. Because you know what I think it is? I think they go into certain places and they hear people talk about certain names. Yeah, we could all LOL and laugh about it, but I can tell you something right now. You didn't know these fucking people. Trust me when I tell you. Trust me.
Look what Dex just wrote.
Okay, read it.
Now, this is my option and my opinion only. Yes, I know a few guys, and one reason I won't talk about them is out of respect. Second, I love these people, and I am proud to be friends with these people. That's coming from, again.
Dex is a good guy. Like I said, I don't mean to get mad at you, Chris, but what I'm trying to say
is
I don't know.
I don't know. I want to try to answer his question.
But if he's going into another chat and somebody's free with names, that's on that content creator. That content creator had to get a 9-to-5 job, and I don't disrespect it. I never had one.
I don't know if a moderator gave you a timeout. I have no idea about it. I didn't, but maybe somebody.
I just said don't block him. I just said don't block him. Let him talk. Chris Breed, I want to ask you a question.
Whatever you got on your mind, say it, bro.
Chris, let me ask you a question. Where do you know all these guys from? Where did you hear these names?
Right. Or do you.
But I can tell you something right now. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about, and I'll tell you why. You know, I know, and I can tell you, somebody in that chat from up in the Northeast knows my life a little better than him. Okay, you don't mention names.
Unbelievable. You know what? But it's got to happen sooner or later. You know, eventually, shit like this is going. It had to. Listen, you know this. I mean, this hasn't come to a head, and I hope
once again, I'm going to say something in a very nice way about it. Somebody came to us very recently, and they will be on the show. That ain't what happened in this neighborhood. That definitely didn't happen in this neighborhood. That didn't happen in this neighborhood. This fucking guy was only a stand-in when everybody else was in the can. That's going to be exposed and talked about real soon. One other thing, okay? I was sent a tape 3 days ago. Craig, we talked about it. I told you it was with John Panisi.
Made me sick.
How the fuck can somebody go on a show with John Panisi and then have the fucking balls to come here into this community? But I have the tape. It's not on YouTube no longer, but I have a copy of the tape.
I did that, not Tony. I did it, not Tony. Chris. Go ahead, Tony.
No, Chris, I'm not mad at you at all.
I'm not mad at nobody.
Mentioning a lot of names.
The reason why I even mentioned it is because I know his younger brother very well from construction as kids.
He is alive, Chris. And he's also, I was never involved with those guys, only in friendships and going out to hang out and shit. But I knew him very well. And I did ask somebody who knows them guys, and I was just told, no. The way he set his trial up and what he wanted to do during his defense was absolutely hideous. That's the answer I got from one of his dear friends, not mine. The gentleman I asked is a good friend of mine. I was with him 2 days this week.
You know, I'm going to get Tone. This
Chris is not wrong. And please, hold on a second.
Chris, I got respect for Chris.
Don't block him. But I
yeah, absolutely not. You know what? I got respect for Chris.
These guys. I
got respect for Chris. I'll tell you why. He's got balls to ask the question whether it. I want to believe Chris is doing this and nobody's telling him to do it. Good for you. But understand, you're going to get an answer, whether you like it or not. It might not always agree with you, just like we might not like your question. We're going to answer it.
All right, wait a minute. Hold on.
To decide for yourselves is as you go through all your different channels and shows.
Oh, Craig, hold on. I just got a text back from, I'll text it to you. Chris Breeder. Joe C. don't know who the fuck you are.
Great.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you have to know him. Because some people give you permission. Some people give you permission to use their name.
You know what, Chris? That's great.
Some people actually give you permission, Chris, and some people
let me say something. Go back to the video when you guys rewind it and remember Chris Breeder, who I said I worked with. Did I say I worked with Joe? No. I said Joe and his dad came down and stopped the job. That's what I said. Did I say that? Go back. So before you say that I said I knew Joe and shook his hand and hung out with him, I didn't say that. Just get that right before you say I said this or that. Go back to the video. That's what's great about having a video. How's that?
Let me say something real quick. Gianni
Catalano. Bring it on. Fucking bring it.
Hold on. Gianni, I'm gonna make a point with Gianni. Gianni is one of the nicest, most respectful guys on YouTube. Gianni also knows a ton of shit firsthand. But you see what he just said? A lot of guys like to name drop. Ask me one guy I name drop that I actually hung out with since I'm 17 years old.
I'm glad you did that. Thank you.
In a certain neighborhood in Queens. Okay? And yes, they had ties to in Massachusetts. They had ties to somewhere up in Connecticut. I think it was right off in New Haven area. Gianni, you may be more familiar than I am because I was
why does Chris need help? Chris is good. Well, I understand.
Chris, you can ask whatever you want to ask, buddy. Sometimes maybe some guys are getting pumped up listening to other chats, and I've never been on a panel.
Yeah, but fire away. It's beautiful. I love it. Fire away. I don't know nothing about North Haven or New Haven, Gianni. I mean, outside of going to have pizza a couple of times, and that's it.
I drove the guy from my neighborhood.
I think I took the kids to wrestling when they were young, the WWE. I know that.
I will say this about.
And by the way, the pizza's overrated and sucked. Go ahead.
Nah, I was going to say I actually like the pizza in New Haven. I think it's better than the pizza in New York in a lot of spots.
Yanni, I love you. You know that, man. Chris, I love the questions, bro. But
Chris, that's a better way. Wait, hold on. Chris said something nice. Now, Chris said that's better here in the
That's why I said I respect the fact that guys got balls to ask.
No, I think he's getting a lot of names from a lot of other chats, and I'm going to tell you something. You're going to be very surprised. You're going to be very surprised when Jimmy starts saying, "I don't know this guy." So, be good.
I mean, listen. A lot of guys. Listen. What is it? If a guy's bad, right? Meaning he ratted, right? There's paperwork on that guy if he was involved in any sort of gang life. I don't give a shit. Organized crime, Bloods, Crips. Somebody goes bad, there's paperwork that you cooperated. So, or any detectives that are out there that want to see first that part, look for that. When that's not found, if anybody claims, there's a difference of saying, I heard of this one, I heard of that one, I saw this one, I remember that one. Well, I could do that for fucking 17 hours. My point is this. Who were you with? Who were you around? I'm an open fucking book who I was around and where I was with. It's in the newspapers. It's embarrassing. Wasn't proud of it. Okay? So was my part. So was the guy that's on this show. Why do you think he comes to this fucking show? You don't think he knows and did his homework to make sure he's on the right show? That goes for anybody.
Okay, Craig.
Just do your homework.
Craig, listen to me.
Go ahead.
I just asked somebody if I could play the video. A couple of weeks, he has to edit a little bit out. I have the actual live, and you can tell who everybody is. This might shock a lot of people. There's a content creator that was on with John Panisi who claims he's, a stand-up street guy. It's going to be played. That's all I'm going to say. I have the raw cut. I'm not going to do that to the person. I'm not going to let his face be shown because his face was blood. Chris Breeder's a good guy. He's asking questions.
Really but I don't like yes men. I like guys that fucking say what's on their mind. I love it.
All right, Dex is going to clear something up. Let's see what it's got going on here. Okay, I'm going to clear something up that happened recently. A friend called one of these guys IG accounts and told them things about me, some common knowledge, some not. Exactly, Chris. That's what we're trying to say. You can't go on there
and we got canceled. Give me about 10 minutes. I'm going to call you right back.
Greg, you're on. Okay, so anyway, here's the bottom line to that. Dex, you're 1,000,000% right. Somebody told me, I'm not even have my bag unpacked yet. I dropped my bags and got right on this shit. I met with family members this week of a lot of people. Okay, not that I went there looking for this show. Trust me, no. I see them every time I'm in New York. Craig, when you were with me a couple of times ago, you got to see everybody. All right? Yep. Some people want you to doll the story up about their father, their brother. I'm not doing that. All right? I know what I know about the person, and if that ain't what you're comfortable with me saying, I'm not going to make up a story that he donated to hospitals and he did this and he did that. Yeah, he might have, but people want to know the real story. Somebody don't give a fuck. I'll give you the name of the hospital. Maybe you can figure it out. Flushing Hospital in Queens, 100% was funded by mob guys. Am I going to tell you who it is? No. Is it public? Yes, but I knew the man. Well, let me see. 27, 37, 47. Almost 40.
Here, Tom.
40. What is it?
Who was on the Panisi show?
Chris Breeder. I promise you, you will be very surprised who it was.
Oh, why? What did Dex say?
What happened? No, Dex is talking about common,
Who lied?
respect and not
what is Dex saying? Somebody lied. Who lied?
No, one of his friends lied about bullshit, common knowledge stuff. The guy made the fucking story up. He's absolutely right.
Then that guy's gonna get exposed.
But there was somebody who prances around YouTube who was on a show with John Panisi.
Cinnamon Girl upset about what Dex said.
Let me explain it, Craig. Dex was talking about there was something going around and two guys were talking and Dex.
Oh, I got it. Yep.
Okay, and it was a bunch of bullshit. But yes, so a lot of you are going to get your heads filled up with people's names that you might know.
Yeah.
From this gentleman. And when he came the other night, that he actually made an appearance with John Panisi, that goes against every fucking thing that person talks about on
Well,
YouTube.
I mean, if you say you don't want to, you're not going to platform rats.
It's not that he platformed the rat. He sat on a panel with a rat.
Well, I feel bad for that person if that video gets out. It's going to make him look like a fraud the whole time. I wonder if that person knows that videos exist. I wonder if that person knows and remembers he did a spot with John Panisi, the rat, the mouse.
I told the guy who had the video, you're full of fucking shit. I told him you're full of shit. This guy would never be on with John Panisi. Sure as hell, it was foggy, but it was the guy. He said it was. And then there was an uncut version without the, like the shit in front of the face. See, that's why you can't ever. All right, you can never go into a guy's chat, okay? Anybody, and they set you up with a rat there because somebody's always running it on another fucking device in 2021, 22, 23, 24. Use your fucking head. Okay, that's why I respect guys like Dex, like Gianni. Dex and Gianni know a ton of guys, just as many as we know, probably.
Never says the word. Never says nothing.
How about this? I could tell Gianni, are you still here?
Probably not because it'd be good if he's here, but I think somebody that's
forget about that.
I'm gonna hold my language. Yeah, there's another show started at 9:30. Oh, Gianni's still here. Thanks for staying, Gianni.
Gianni, were you in the metropolitan area this week? Johnny, were you down in not far from where I was yesterday, a couple of days ago? There you go. See how word can spread around? Me and Gianni never talked about this in a chat. I was never in a chat that I said I knew it. I know, Gianni. I wasn't going to say that, but
this guy Von Schaefer is the greatest. This is the guy that said we should shut the fuck up, and he's doing it again. So I know where it's coming from.
Who said shut the fuck up?
Yeah, no. It's in the comments. I never heard an interviewer interrupt so much, but last week it was we should shut the fuck up. That's okay. That's the same guy that fucking, if when it gets dark out, he fucking shits his pants and runs into the fucking hallway and hides. That's the same kind of clown. So enjoy your comment, tough guy. Over a computer. I love it. Come on, keep them coming.
You can't let shit like this bother you. It's gonna happen.
No, I love it. I think it's fucking great. This is fun. You kidding me? This is therapy. This is the best therapy I ever had.
I'll just put it this way. I was, and I can have.
They're asking Gianni, would you like to come on? I'd love to have you. Who wants to come on? They're saying Gianni should grab a link. Anybody want a link? Let's go.
Chris, you can have the link too if you'd like.
Anytime.
We could all have a friendly discussion.
I'd love to have Von Schaefer come on that keeps telling me I interrupt too much, you interrupt too much. Come on.
Where's Von
We'll treat you like family. Come on. Or maybe somebody's telling you to tell us these things.
Look, I can promise you.
Maybe you don't want a channel that tells the truth. Maybe you want to hear fucking soap opera stories. Go ahead.
Exactly what it is. There are a lot of people who talk about stories on here. I can tell you there's one guy who knows more people in higher places, and he's the friendliest guy on here and one of the nicest guys on here. That guy really does know a boss. Okay, and he don't bring that up all the time. He just says he knows somebody in that neighborhood.
Thank you anyway,
okay.
Gianni. Gianni said, I'm going to put the link up for anybody that wants to come in. Gianni can't come in. He's got shit to do.
Tony is Michael. Okay, yeah, I'm Michael. I'll take that. I'll take Michael or Sonny. Sometimes in that world, you have to know how to diplomatically speak, act, all them things to come with that. And I learned.
Mikey, what's up, brother? Anybody wants to grab a link? Let's do it. Dave T. Got it, brother.
Hold on a second. Mikey is a real good guy. And there was a guy Mikey had a problem with. You see, this is what guys do. Okay? He's not allowed in this fucking chat no more for disrespecting my friend, Mikey. End of story.
Amen, Dave.
I took care of it. Like I said it before, it even came up in another guy's conversation the other day. You disrespect Mikey, who's one of my friends now, you're done. You're not coming in here no more.
Why? Who just said what?
I already blocked the person the other night. You don't even have to worry about it. I'll tell you off of the air.
Yeah.
People, see, I'm not telling other people not to be friends with the gentleman, but here's how it works for me.
You can't tell nobody.
These are my beliefs. But these are my beliefs. You disrespect my friend, fuck you. You're out. So that's how that rolls. But you can ask stories. You know what neighborhood I think we're from, right?
Yep, I'm reading. Dex just texted me something.
Muscarella. Yeah, I do believe that, Chris.
So many people want to try to impress people, and so they'll say this one, that one, but they'll never tell you who they're on record with. Who we on record with?
Hold on a second. Hold on. No, because he asked a good question. No. Chris Breed, it has nothing to do with Cicali. It actually has zero to do with Dominic Cicali. I'm going to be very honest with you. Go to his chats and let him explain it to you. Nobody knew he was a made guy.
Real deal. Okay?
Hold on a second. Let me get this one out now, because somebody asked a question and brought this clown's name up one time too many. Chris, I'm not blaming you. I'm glad you brought his name up. Did you ever hear when Dominic Cicali goes, other families didn't even know that I was an acting captain and a made guy? Let me explain something to you that I can tell you. If you're a captain, hold on. If you're a maid or you're a captain, everybody in every other family has to know about it. Somebody knows about it. How the fuck did this guy get around being a made guy with nobody knowing about it in 3 other families?
Impossible. Tony, I just want to let you know we got somebody coming to the stage, the Stone Sailor.
Oh, that's my man. Put him up.
You got it.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Hold on, brother. I'm going to just do the layout. I got to just set the layout so I get you in here, bro.
Tommy Real Deal, how are you? How you feeling, buddy? Tommy's a guy who's a stand-up guy who knew all the people there, and he don't throw around names. And I can guarantee you he did know them.
Tommy is a badass, I know.
Tommy is a badass.
Where the fuck? I'm having a hard time putting them on. 1 second.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Yeah, Chris,
1 second, brother. You know what, Chris? That's the audio. We're going to get you on right now.
Guys. And if he does talk to those guys and he announces it on here, he's basically putting a contract on their asses.
Hold on.
Oh.
Set it up. Rob, you there?
Roll on.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Stone Sailor, welcome aboard, brother. Great to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, I watched last time when you guys had the boxing show, and I want to congratulate you on your show. I'm listening tonight. I just got off another show, so I just wanted to come on and tell you guys, I really like what you're doing so far, and keep up the boxing and the stuff. I love it, and that's all, guys.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. We just try to keep it real in anything, whatever. I got
to know Rob a little bit, and he is a veteran. Thank you for your service, and a real stand-up guy, and he's good with me anytime. Sal, you're my man.
Yeah, you're definitely same here, Tony, man. I definitely I'm looking forward to meeting you in person soon. I'm down your neck of the woods. So
all right, so can you go in the back chat?
We got Real Deal on with us.
Yeah, I'll go in the back chat. I'll leave my number.
Put your number in there and I'll screenshot it. I'll give you a call.
All right, buddy.
Stone Sailor, it's a pleasure, brother.
My pleasure. Thank you. Hey, Tommy, Real Deal.
What's going on?
Tommy, what's up, brother? Pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
What's
I
up,
haven't
Tom?
been around. I've been having some medical issues.
Sorry to hear that. I hope everything's okay.
Yeah, I had to go for. I had
Somebody breaking it.
5 nodules in my left lower lung, and I had to go to the pulmonary specialist today, and they came back negative. They weren't malignant, but the one nodule has.
You having a hard time hearing, Tommy?
A little bit, but it might be on the other
But
side. Could you
I'm
raise it a little
feeling
bit?
good. Everything worked out so far. But that's why I haven't been around in anybody's chat. First of all, I don't go in too many chats to begin with. There's only a few.
How's
I
that?
don't know who they are.
El Toro, how's that, brother?
I just heard a little bit of this conversation because I just came from my son's basketball game. He won the championship.
Yeah, everybody's having a hard time. It's not on it's on his end, his mic end.
Tom, is there any way you can put your volume up a little bit?
Toro, tell me about the lights now, brother. Nothing you can do. Nothing you can do, really.
Tommy, how you feeling, brother? Can't hear.
Yeah, his mic is.
Hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
I hear you now. Go ahead, Tom. How you doing?
Okay, what I was saying is I didn't know I got cut off. I haven't been around in anybody's chat for the past couple of weeks. I've been having some medical issues. They found some spots on my lungs, on my left lung, lower lobe, for 5 nodules, and I had a CAT scan. Then I had to go for a PET scan. I got the results today. The 4 of them, there was non-malignant, but the 5th one got larger because I had it in 2020, and they want to do a needle biopsy. But I'm feeling good, and it looks to be okay. But I got to go through with the biopsy, and I don't want any sympathy. I just ask for prayers. That's it.
You got that, brother. That's easy to do.
Let me say something, Craig. Tommy is a personal friend of mine, and I hope we all pray for him. Tommy is a great guy.
Absolutely.
Whenever I'm a little down, I can talk to Tommy. Me and Tommy could be on a phone call for 2 hours and not even fucking know it. Tommy is my friend. And Tommy, I always told you, I'm only a couple of hours away, and that's a promise. You ever need me, I'm there.
I know that, Tony, and I appreciate that. Now, I didn't catch hardly any of the show except the last 5 minutes of when I got in my car. I don't understand. I don't understand people mentioning people's names that are not supposed to be mentioned. You know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
If they're still on the street, or if they're they don't want their name out, their name shouldn't be mentioned. Period.
Exactly. And some people are going to push the envelope. But let me ask you a question, Tommy, as long as we got you out here. Tommy had family members that were huge in that lifestyle, who did time with people that were huge in that lifestyle, that actually had movies made about them, and they were, characters in movies. There's just some things you're not supposed to do. And, Tommy, what do you think about these content creators that throw these names around like they're, like gumballs?
Well, because they're first of all, they're punk rats to begin with. And if they're not a rat, if they're just a content creator and they throw names around, they're just looking for clicks and views. They're complete fucking jerk offs, in my eyes.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%.
So, I don't have too many nice things to say about them. They mention people's names that are still on the street or are out of the joint, but they're just relaxing, trying to enjoy the rest of their life, and their names are being thrown around. They're fucking lowlifes. They're scumbags in my eyes.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you a question. It recently came to me. I was up in New
York. How are you?
I just got home about a half hour ago. When the show started, I walked in about 5 minutes before the show, whenever that was.
Absolutely.
I don't know the exact time. What about if you found out a content creator who makes like he's a knock-around guy, and you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Was on a show with John Panisi a couple of years ago. I seen the tape Wednesday, and it's got me sick to my stomach.
Well, I'd have to look at him sideways, to be honest with you.
Look what Tommy Dixon said. He's right.
Absolutely. Really? No. If they're still alive,
who the fuck
I'll tell you
doesn't know that the guy's a rat?
I'll tell you off the air who it is, but it's a shocker. And I had heard about it about a month and a half ago, and I said, until I see it, I'll never believe it.
I couldn't believe it.
There's this guy with John Panisi and another gentleman, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Toro.
So, it shocked the shit out of me. I seen it Wednesday afternoon.
Well, I tell you what, you'd never see me have a conversation with that guy.
No, absolutely.
That's how much I would trust him. If he's going to go on a show with that rat, what the fuck does that say about him?
Not very much.
That's
so claim to be a content creator and not a knockaround guy. Don't say you're a knockaround guy after what I seen.
No, you're not a knockaround guy. You're just looking to get some stardom somewhere, and you're going fucking looking in the wrong places. That's what I say.
Absolutely. I mean, you mention names and you try and be around certain people and they find out about some shit like this. That's a blow to everybody because you thought the guy was okay. You know, you might be an okay guy, but you shouldn't have described yourself one way. No, you're not okay at all. Not in that world. You know, you could be a journalist. And I respect the guy. You're about a generation older than me. You know, we got 20 years in between us. And I know you grew around a lot of guys with respect. That's what I'm saying. People come in here, they want to hear names because they hear it in other places. No, you're not going to hear all names unless people give you permission here. Absolutely not.
Listen, everybody knows I'm 76 years. Everybody knows I'm 76 years old.
God bless. And
I grew up in that world, okay? And I don't have to say any more than that. People who know.
Jimmy's getting tight.
No, Jimmy, it's got nothing to do with you, Jimmy.
Not you, Jimmy. You know that. No, he knows. He texted me. He knows.
Somebody claims to be a knockaround guy who was
Jimmy's got something on his chest that he wants to get off, but he's holding off on it.
Yeah, no, Jimmy has the right to talk about himself or anybody he knows. I have the right to talk about myself and people who give me permission.
100%.
This is about somebody completely that you would never guess.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Tommy. Let Tommy speak.
Tommy, go ahead, brother.
Like I said, I was brought up in that life. No, I wasn't a made guy. You can forget about that.
Neither was I.
But Tony knows. People know. Some people know my last name from Angel Show. I don't have to say any more. I don't have to prove myself to know.
Absolutely.
So what I'm saying is, you know, you want to get on a show with a rat, there's something wrong with you.
100%.
I hate to label the guy, but if you're with a rat, you know, birds of a feather flock together. That's all I can say.
I got to ask a question to both of you guys. Tommy, obviously, being senior to me, and all respect, if a guy's never been part of that life in any way, and he's strictly a civilian his whole life, right? In the life, whether you're made or on record or whatever, that everybody else is a civilian, right? Because they're not living the crime life, correct? What I'm saying is, what if a guy's a journalist? That's his job. And he's approaching it from a journalistic standpoint of view. He never claimed to be a wise guy or in that life. And he's interviewing, like Vlad. I'll just use him. I don't know him. I don't know the fucking guy. He has everybody on. Is he no good? I'm just asking. I'm not talking about guys that say they're in the life. They were around guys.
Listen. If he's a civilian and he's never been in that life, he never hung around anybody,
And
he's supposed to be a half-ass journalist. Of course, he has the right to do what he wants to do. Do I agree with him? Do I agree with him sometimes? Absolutely not. Some people I never agree with because they don't know what the fuck they're even talking about. But they get on there like they know everything.
Did work for.
Agreed.
You're
agreed.
Right.
Let me say one thing. I do know, and he is a friend of mine, Tom LaVecchia.
Good job, Tom.
Tom LaVecchia is probably in the top echelon of journalists out here. All right, and he never claimed he's a wise guy or nothing like that. But other guys who have a felony hit and claim they have the beliefs of that life are full of crap, because a lot of things they do on here is dry snitching right off of Jump Street. What do you think about that, Tom?
I know, Dex. I know. I have a hard time saying Dex.
Craig, let Tommy talk for a minute.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Absolutely. You know, people don't know how to read between the lines. See, that's the problem with this genre. You got a lot of people that really don't know what anyone's talking about, and there's some people that can read between the lines and know when somebody's full of shit and who's spewing bullshit. That's just the way it is in this genre. That's why that so many people want to have shows about the mob and so on and so forth. It's ridiculous. It's gotten to the point where anybody can get on a show and start spewing names like they know everybody. They've been in the street. They're wise guys. They're not wise guys in that sense. That they think they're
wise guys. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I give this kid Toro, this man, not kid, credit. He came right in here and says, "I don't know anybody, and I don't claim to know anybody." Toro's just a good guy. I'm not talking Toro.
Absolutely. We don't see. I'd see we see him more.
I like Toro. He's one of the better guys on.
I can't see the chat, so.
Well, Toro's just saying, you don't know anybody, and even if he did, he ain't gonna fucking say it. He don't have to tell me that. I know what he's saying. Good, you're better. It's good. And Tommy Stiggs, I gotta say this. Tommy put up on the chat. Being a made guy is a curse, not an honor. I'd rather work 4 jobs. That's what Stiggs said. So I want to make sure I get everybody.
No, I'm not talking about that.
It depends on what age group you're talking about. Now, when I was young, and all my friends were getting that, my father refused to do that for me.
Absolutely.
So, but there were a lot of good people when I was young. A lot of good people. It turned into fucking little terrible cutthroat later on. I got to be honest with you.
Wow. Well, Tommy, you see that? What a comment, Brooklyn 123. Everyone's a tough guy and a wise guy until the feds come knocking on your door at 5 a.m. and they start singing. Glad to say, when they knocked on my door, I had nothing to say. But he's right. 1,000,000 fucking %.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna read this question. Let me read this for you, Tommy. Wouldn't it be considered dry snitching off the top if you're coming on YouTube talking about anyone dead or alive? I'll answer it, then I'm giving you the floor.
Good question.
If you're there to rectify a wrong that was said, no, it's not dry snitching. If you go too far into the person's personal life and what you have knowledge of, absolutely, it's a snitch move. And that's the way I feel about that.
Well, I first of all, this is just me speaking, and this is no dig towards either one of you guys. Me, I still have friends in the life that I grew up with. One is my friend I've been for 65 years. I would never even ask him to mention his name. I wouldn't even let him know that I'm on this show right now talking about this shit. That's me.
I agree. I'm not sitting here mentioning nobody that wasn't brought into my conversation. And that's what the dilemma was earlier, that somebody wanted to know about this guy and that guy. I'm not telling you what I know. If it's a history point or something that came up in somebody else's chat and they bullshitted you about it, you'll get guided in the right direction, but you're not going to get much more than that.
Well,
unless it's to defend the honor of the person.
Well, you see, Tony, the wisdom that I have, when you have a show like you have, and you talk about certain things, and I'm not saying you're mentioning people's names that you shouldn't be mentioning or so on and so forth, you're going to get the questions like that. It's just inevitable.
Well, I don't believe we do that here at all. What I believe happens is people get it from other shows and want to think we're going to follow the guidelines of their shows. Absolutely not.
Well, those are people that don't know what the score is. They
and
don't
that's
know
what we
time
said.
it is.
And that's what I said tonight. I'm not going to tell you what somebody else might have mentioned or who somebody else might have mentioned. I'm going to tell you about the life, not people that I know and talk to every day, including today. That ain't happening here.
Well, no, you're just as good as the guy that talks about shit that shouldn't be. So you're better off not mentioning it. You're doing it the right way.
Okay, now here's my point to that. If they hear it in somebody else's show, oh, I knew the guy in the neighborhood, he did this, this, and that. That's great. But don't let it pump you up to the point where you can go ask guys who actually have done things for any information about the person. It isn't going to happen. If other people choose, and that's fine by, what they say to talk about it, that's on you. Doesn't mean Tony's going to say it. That's all.
Right. Exactly.
I watched the show last night, and I got to be very honest. There was a lot of dry snitching going on in that show last night, and I had to shake my head. They're telling you, well, I'm not going to say this, but I'll tell you this, this, and this about the guy. That's dry fucking snitching.
Absolutely.
Talk about something that happened in another place. Well, I'm going to tell you, I know this, this, and this, and I went out and found out about it. Nobody told me. But you're telling us about it now. So you're dry snitching.
That's like the guy that walks into a guy's office and he says, shakes his hand. He says, "Now listen, I have all the respect in the world for you," and then they go on and disrespect the guy.
Tommy, we got a question for you. Chris Breeder would like to know, what do you think about Joey being on YouTube? Joey Molino, I got it.
That's exactly what he's asking.
Okay.
All right. Well, listen. As far as Joey's concerned, he's living a clean life. He's not doing anything wrong. And it's about time that somebody that has a voice that could tell the other side of the story.
Exactly. And I believe that that's what we're getting with Jimmy DeMonica. Jimmy is a stand-up guy, straight guy. He don't talk about anything outside of the realm of what he wants to talk about. And it's his personal life and his thing.
He talks about everything he talks about everything he did.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. He doesn't go outside and say, Tommy, you did this, or Craig, you did this. He keeps it personal, and I believe that's 100% what he's doing.
Listen.
And there's no double standard there as far as you two guys are concerned having Jimmy on. He's telling his story, what his life was about. And if he chooses to do that, he's not telling about other people, and anybody he does speak about, they're gone.
Yep.
They're not on this earth anymore.
Exactly. Now, Tommy, well, it's been said on the air, so can I mention who your dad did time with, or are you not comfortable with that?
What's that, brother? Oh, Tommy.
Tommy.
Well, a couple of them are
dead.
They're
both gone. What's that?
They're both gone. There's 3 or 4 of them that are gone.
All right.
Maybe
5.
I met them all in prison.
Well, Paul Vario. Paul Vario.
Yeah.
I've never seen him, never laid eyes on him. I didn't meet him.
He was in the joint with him.
Correct. So Tommy's old man was a good guy, a real good guy.
Yeah, he was the best.
you know,
and good guy in every sense of the word. If you know
absolutely, Matt.
Well, you could also tell by the way you handle yourself, talk to people,
absolutely.
And
absolutely,
it drops the right way. You know, you get a lot of guys on here, you can tell they didn't have a man in their life.
Yeah.
Sorry to say.
Tony, can I say something? Tommy, I'd like to say something. Some people just don't like people, though, that have an opinion. Meaning, you get asked a question, and when you tell them maybe something they don't want to fucking hear, they don't like it. Well, then don't ask the question.
That's true. That's true in life.
But you're right in any aspect. But you find it here too. We don't have to be even talking about the name. They just don't like. Maybe it's somebody that has nothing to do with the life. Maybe it was somebody that they knew working in wall bounds, and somebody said, you know, I knew that guy. He used to fucking tell on everybody. He was whatever. Hypothetically, whatever. Everybody, you know, I don't know.
Oh, I agree 100%.
Street was a lot easier than this, I'll tell you.
Let me tell you something. Listen, I was around a lot of people, and Tommy is still giving me advice at 56 years old when I talk to him about mistakes I make in regular life.
It's a pleasure, Tommy, having you on. You should come on more often. You feel better.
Yeah. Well,
you're going to be fine, bro. We're all praying for you. We're going to pray all the time.
Tommy's the first guy I actually met on YouTube.
Yeah.
First guy that I never had any interaction with at all that I ever met on YouTube. And we had a ball from the first time.
And here he is with us tonight. That's beautiful.
And now here he is a year. Tommy, it's exactly a year and a day since the surgery when I spoke to you.
Really?
Yep.
Really?
Surgery was January 26th. Today's January 26th.
Yeah.
The first night when I called in from the hospital, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember. You know, a fucking time goes by so fast. Thank God.
It's exactly 1 year today. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and we've gone through another world just fucking, we've gone through more shit on YouTube, and we've been in more arguments with people on YouTube than we ever did probably in real life half the time.
Yeah. Wow. Well, you know, people, when it comes to YouTube, I really don't like to argue them. I just tell them to go fuck themselves and then go fuck themselves again.
Absolutely.
That's just the way
yeah, exactly. You know, Tony will tell you. I mean, if it wasn't for working with Jimmy and doing some stuff with Jimmy, and there wasn't a very Tommy and maybe some others in here will understand it. Tommy, you'll definitely understand it. Jimmy didn't feel comfortable speaking with us. As you know, Tommy, he wouldn't be doing that.
Exactly.
So, right. So we shouldn't have to explain, as you said yourself, to people why is it that he's talking to us. Figure that out. I don't know why. Maybe I don't know why. Anyway, we want to eventually get to the point where we're not talking about this kind of stuff, and we will. That's why we do other things, sports, whatever. Stop, whatever. Fucking jeans. You know what I mean, Tommy? We'll talk about Nike sneakers, whatever.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, we had more fun talking about bullshit.
No, I had more fun tonight. This was great.
No. I'm talking about when me and Tommy first met on here. We were talking about bullshit stories we knew in certain areas.
Yeah,
we never mentioned the name Tommy back then. Those shows are still up. We never mentioned the name. We mentioned athletes and stuff like that we both ran into because Tommy was big with the airlines and he took care of a lot of the athletes. Tommy got to go to multiple Super Bowls, golfing events with athletes. Oh, Tommy, by the way, wait, I'm going to give you the floor. I just have to say something. When you hear the two words, wide right, what does that make you want to do?
Huh?
Wide
Michael,
right.
You want to come on, Michael?
When I hear the two words, what?
Wide right.
Oh, you are now. I'm going to tell you, I'm getting off the panel.
Tommy is from Buffalo. And Tommy,
I got that.
I got to tell you something. I don't know how the fuck that. It could happen just the same fucking way. That's got to rip your guts out. I was talking Todd Father off the ledge. Go ahead, Tommy.
It didn't happen the same way. That jerk off Sunday missed 2 field goals. One, he didn't even get off the ground almost. You know, they should have never lost that game. I don't care what anybody says. And the first drive, and who calls a fake punt on your own 35-yard line with 7 minutes left to go?
Somebody who shouldn't be a coach.
We got somebody coming to the stage. You know anybody? Meat Hooks?
Meat Hooks?
We're going to give this gentleman a shot. Meat Hooks. What's happening, Meat Hooks?
What's happening? It's Mike Mormilli.
Hey,
Mike,
buddy?
You got it, my brother.
That's Mike.
Thank you for grabbing the link,
What's up, Mike? How are you?
Good. How you doing?
A pleasure to meet you, Mike.
You too.
How are you, Mike?
All right, Tommy. How you been? I know you said you're sick. Hope you feel better.
Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Good.
I had a good time tonight. My son was in a tournament, and he won the tournament. His team. He coaches the team, varsity basketball.
Tommy's son is a basketball coach up in the that's not Orlando. What area is that exactly? St. Cloud?
Well, it's St. Cloud.
Tommy's son is a basketball coach up there. Good guy. Works with kids still.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, he's
what do you think?
Wonderful. I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of my son.
Beautiful.
You know, I taught him. You know, he was born in Florida. In fact, he was born in Broward County, down
here.
Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, he wasn't brought up in the streets like I was. He doesn't know anything about the life. You know, he didn't have a father like I had a father in the sense of that life. But I taught him the right way. You know, I told him the first thing you do is you always respect your mother. Number one, she comes first, even before me.
Nice.
Number two, you respect all women. Number three, you respect your elders and you treat them with respect. I don't care if they're strangers or not. Number four,
Absolutely.
Don't trust anybody. Don't trust anyone that lies to you.
Nope.
And so on and so forth. Keep your head on a swivel, especially when you're alone, walking down anywhere that's not a nice area. You keep your head on a swivel. And, you know, I sent him to jiu-jitsu class or one of those classes. You know, up until he was 9 years old, he knew how to fight. You know, he got his black belt for his age. He went to North Carolina and competed in whatever the fuck it was called. So he's a good kid. He's a very good kid.
God bless. That's great. Awesome.
Yeah. And so,
sounds like you did a great job.
Yeah, well, and I owe his mother a lot too.
Absolutely. And mom.
When we got separated, she stayed single, didn't have a boyfriend until he was in high school and old enough to understand. And then it wasn't even like a boy. You know what I mean? She dedicated her life to that boy. And when I say boy, at that age, he's a man now.
Absolutely.
And I give her all the credit. I give her all the credit in the world. We're best friends. Even though we're divorced, I take her out to dinner and everything. You know, it's just the way it is. We're always going to be tied at the hip because of him.
Absolutely. I remember when Tommy went out with his wife right after the surgery, right? Or right before the surgery, your hip surgery.
It was before the surgery.
Right. Tommy had gone in.
My hip surgery.
Tommy had gone in for a hip replacement, and they stopped. They wouldn't open him or something. There was some problem, so they sent him home. But he had told me that he was going out with his ex-wife before he said it on the air, and I learned a lot that day. I'm not going to say how. It's a personal thing, but he taught me a lot that day. And he showed that you don't have to be married to the mother of your children anymore to still be friends. So I always thank him for that. He's 100% right.
Yeah, and I love her. I'm not saying I'm in love with her. Not like that, but I love her. I love her as a person. Anybody ever did anything to that woman, they're going to have to deal with me. Even though I'm old, I can still do some damage in a lot of different ways. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not bragging, believe me.
You know, I had a problem with a fool on here one time, and it was just so much fucking stupidity. And out of the hospital, hand to God, Tommy came up there and Tommy, fuck you, fuck this, fuck. I mean, he gave it to this fucking punk where he had him shut the fuck up in 2 seconds. That's the kind of man Tommy is. As a friend.
Yeah.
That says a lot coming from you, Tom.
No, one of only a couple of guys I would ever talk to on here, but the only guy that I would talk to about my personal life. I only talked to two people about my personal life on here that I didn't know. Tommy is one of them.
Yeah. You got your buddy here, Mikey. I think we should. Mikey, what's up, brother?
Not much. Just hanging out, watching the show.
Did you enjoy a little? It's good sometimes to raise the volume a little bit, right? Show that you're passionate in life, right?
Sure.
Passionate with my family, anything. Passionate with anything.
No, I've never seen Michael on a panel before.
Well, he's with us, baby. We got the exclusive.
Thank you very much, Michael. Thank you very much, Michael.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you, Tommy.
Is that my nephew?
All over here and there.
No,
I think I've been in the house. What's up, Chris?
I've been seeing Michael for over a year that I know of.
Yeah, Mikey. Wait.
Good
I mean, I'm not. I guess we can't ask this on the air. Like where you from? People, you can't know where anybody's from. Are you on the East Coast, West Coast, bro?
Yeah, I'm from New Jersey. I was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, okay. I'm from Queens, brother.
Okay.
There you go. Open book. Gotcha.
Yeah,
Pleasure, bro. Pleasure.
So, Mike,
wait a minute. Mike F, we always talking back and forth with the comments.
That's him.
This isn't Mike F, right?
No,
this is Michael Moore.
All right, no, I know that, but I thought somebody just put in the comments Mike F.
No, I think Mike F's from Arizona. Mike F, I believe, is from Arizona.
Yeah, he told me he had a basketball game or something tonight, coaching.
Yeah.
Oh,
where?
Go ahead, Craig.
No, I was probably going to go the same way. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You can go.
No, I was going to ask him Northeast Jersey or more south.
I'm in Monroe Township. It's like
Gotcha.
I'm
okay. I have some family that's way down by the shore. They're in Long Beach Island.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They're retired
Mike,
down there. So they got this place down.
Let me ask you, Mike. Michael, let me ask you, what brings you to YouTube? What do you find? Kill time, something to do, you know?
Yeah, it's since I would say the pandemic or whatever, I started watching. Am I giving you background noise or something?
Nah, I think it's somewhere else.
Let me see. It's the echo cancellation.
Let me see.
Go ahead now.
Okay. Yeah, I don't watch any TV anymore, so I started watching YouTube at work. You know, I'm a crane operator, so I listen to YouTube for watching videos and in my ear pods or whatever, and music. Then I started seeing guys coming on from Brooklyn here and there. Came up in my feed.
Yeah, we get some feedback. I don't know where it's coming from.
I think it's coming from you. Somebody's got a YouTube on.
I don't have a phone here. I have nothing on in the background. Nothing.
All right. So
not me. I'm in my car.
I'm on the mic. I only have the StreamYard on. I don't have any YouTube on. So anyway, I see Michael in chats, and Michael's always nice, respectful, and when he has to be firm with an answer, he's firm. And I want to say, I see him in Mikey's chat. I see him in a couple of the guys' chats from Buffalo and Jersey. He's a good guy. Mikey's good people.
Yeah, I seen Craig. I've heard of Craig on the somebody mentioned his show, but I never know who he was. And then I saw him in somebody else's chat about a week ago. We were playing music on the guy's chat.
Oh,
the guy's Flynn?
Slimmies. Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah.
I may have been operating.
Yeah. I just found him random. I said, "Oh shit, let me hear something."
Yeah. I've seen Mike for quite a while now, and I've never seen him before. So thank you so much for coming up, buddy.
Yeah, you're welcome. No problem.
Hey guys, I gotta go.
Tommy, it's a pleasure to meet you. I hope to see you soon, bro. We're all praying for you.
All right, thanks for having me on. I'll talk to you
God bless.
later.
Be safe, brother.
Okay, Tommy.
Thank you.
Well,
it's gone now.
I'll give you a positive from YouTube. I met Tommy when I was in the hospital last year on YouTube, and we became very, very good friends. And he's an older figure, not an old man, an older figure who gives great advice that I use in everyday life. If I have a problem, I speak to Tommy all the time. So that's one of the advantages of this YouTube. There's disadvantages if you allow it to bother you. If you got a head on your shoulders, you can get through work easier, like Michael and Todd Father used to do. They were on chats all night long. It was great while they were working. It kills the time. During that pandemic, forget about it. Without YouTube, a lot of people would have fucking hung themselves. I swear to God. I mean, YouTube saved a lot of people, and a lot of bullshit started out, but I'm not going into that drama ever again. I was in one chat that we had the drama, and I'm out of there forever.
OG Mike, welcome, brother.
OG
What's
Mike.
up, OG?
Yeah, I like to get out.
Mike's usually working, bro. He's always working. I'm glad you got a night off, pal.
So Michael,
God bless you as well.
Michael, TT Rad, hold on a second. TT, how are you, sweetie? Nice
God bless you.
When you're at work, you kill time listening to YouTube?
Sure.
See, that's a benefit of YouTube. I mean, a lot of people don't get it, and I think how does it help you? How does it get you through the day easy?
Staring at a stack of containers back and forth. So it helps me. I'm listening to a show or something, an hour goes by like that.
Yeah, absolutely. When I used to be on the truck, I would listen to sports talk or podcast. I'd be driving wherever, and before you know it, another show ends. You kill 3 hours in here, and then by the time you're done, you get to where your destination was. Sure.
I had become friends with Todd Father. We've become very friendly, and we text all the time. I didn't even know the guy was working.
Thank you.
I didn't even know. God bless you. I didn't even know that the kid was working half the time. Then when he told me, "Now you get me through the night with the chats," and then we text each other, and I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I found out he worked nights, and we start to know about each other. Certain guys you can talk to off of here. You got to be careful with others.
Joe Town Jack still here, baby.
You might think you're in a private, personal conversation. Next day, you see all your shit out there with somebody. So you got to pick and choose who you can talk to off the air to. I mean, Craig know each other 30 plus years. In real life, we met in a brawl.
Oh, wow.
That's no shit. Yeah, our kids were playing football, and we ended up. It got so dirty over there that they were looking to get us at fucking football games that they brought a cop in to be the referee, an undercover detective. That was some bullshit that time, but that was an exciting way to meet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no video of it, so somebody will probably say that you're full of shit.
Whatever. We know what happened.
Exactly.
700 people from Whitestone College.
Go kick rocks.
I know what happened.
Go kick a bag of rocks. Go ahead. Oh, we got Eugene. Eugene, welcome. Sammy took a liking to Joel Larry, and he ratted on a lot of Gambino guys. Blackie.
I'm assuming he said Gambino guys.
Yeah, no, I know what he's saying.
Blackie from Belleville had the club and owed taxi cabs. Good man.
I'm sure if he says that, he's a good man.
I will ask about it next week. I think you're correct, though, from what I understand.
Yeah, we got to clarify that. Make sure
So Mike, what are you?
I've spoken to Eugene. I think Eugene has made some very nice comments towards Juicy and Jimmy. Clarified if this is the same Eugene. He clarified some things with Rahway and some of those questions from weeks ago.
I believe
that's you, Eugene. Thank you for coming in, bro.
I think Tommy Stiggs and TT both know Blackie.
Really? Well, yeah. Tommy's got it, right? It says his name. I mean, not got it, but
Yeah, but he's deceased now.
I don't know how big Belleville is. I don't know.
Well, not huge, but it coincides a little bit with Newark, if I'm not mistaken, ladies and gentlemen. But Blackie is deceased, if I'm right. Quite a while too, I think. All right, Tommy, any news on the gentleman who had to go to court this week? Yeah, TT is confirming. Tommy Stiggs and TT both knew Blackie.
Absolutely.
The Belmont Tavern. I know where that is. Okay, so there was a gentleman. I'm not going to say his name. If Tommy wants to put it in the chat, he was a friend of Tommy's.
Yeah, Tommy said great news. Great news.
He was at the dentist office at the time of somebody's murder, and he got blamed for it. And because of a rat, a guy who said he was a stand-up guy, and I tell you what, from what I know, because they are older than me, the guy who flipped on him, a lot of people just sat there in disbelief. Tommy, good, right? And next thing you know, this other guy's in the can for it. You know, how could you actually break bread, do shit with somebody, and 20, 25 years later, the fucking guy puts you away for life? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, that guy's gone 30 years already.
Jeez.
And you look at it and you read the stories, and I was 20, I think, 2 when he went away. I remember reading about it because the guy who flipped was a big disappointment to everybody in the neighborhood. But none of those guys out there could have known about it. And we'll talk about it a little bit with Jimmy next week. But I seen it. Tommy put the picture up in the story that he was going to court this week, and thank God he's got some good news. I mean, 30 years, I heard this guy doesn't even complain about any fucking thing. Here's Tommy's. Tommy says, no worries. It was Marty Ricardi. That's who it is. And he is okay with people talking about it. His wife also, she saw the show we did about him. All right, so Marty Ricardi was at the dentist office, as long as the name is there, okay? And somebody got killed. Ricardi put his ass in the, right in there, and they believed the rat. And I think, Tommy, what's he got? 31 years, 32 years? That's right? I know it's 30 years or more. I'm not sure the exact number. But everybody I've spoken to about him off of here says he's a great guy and he never fucking complains about anything when he's behind bars for 30 years. No, but how long has he been in there now, Tommy? I know he got life, but how long has he been in? I think 30 years. Is that right? I'm not sure. I know I was in my 20s, and that's 30 years ago. Holy shit. I'm trying to see what Tommy says. But anyway, Marty got set up 30 years. Yeah, there it is. So, yeah, I mean, the guy got a life sentence for something he really did not do. The man was at a dentist appointment, if I'm right. Right, Tom? And he got set up by a friend. There goes that. I mean, those are guys that never had it in them to fucking be in that life. If you could flip on a friend, a personal friend, yeah, about 30 years, he said. Yeah, he was at the dentist office, and it's confirmed that, they just threw a lot of evidence out in the case that what I seen about it. I mean, that's fucking disgusting.
I'm gonna be a good boy. I'm gonna stay quiet.
Well, the guy got himself involved in something. He couldn't take what he was about to face himself, so he flipped. That's it. He heard it. Tommy, do you know how many people Tommy put away in jail?
Tommy Ricardi, how many people is he responsible for? Dex, it's like Vinny Ocean. We had to support him at Wiggles. Wiggles was in our neighborhood in Queens. Woodside, I believe, right, Tommy? Or I could be wrong. Dex, I mean. We had to support him at Wiggles, then he flips. And he was the boss, right? Wasn't he the boss?
Yeah, but I could tell you what I remember about Wiggles when I ran into
you remember Wiggles? That was the only bottomless joint, right?
Right,
bottomless too, right?
Let me tell you something. To support this guy, hold on a second. Ooh. To support this guy, you had to get hit with protests every fucking night. Have your picture in newspapers, people screaming and yelling at you on Queens Boulevard, and the motherfucker flips. I mean, that is a shot in the fucking head with that guy.
Okay, Stevie, bottomless.
Nah, I mean, but that place was big trouble. There was problems there every fucking night.
All the time.
The first year and a half, 2 years. I mean, you had people sitting outside with protest signs every night, people taking pictures of you every night, and everybody went there to support him, and he flips. Okay, good guy he is. And I believe he was part of the people who were giving stories to a couple of TV shows.
I never been in it.
It was on Queens Boulevard by Rego Park.
Rego Park, yeah. I worked in a something towers over there. I don't know if it's Left Rack Towers.
Oh, yeah. Left Rack Towers, Left Rack City, right off of Junction Boulevard over there.
Yep.
Hey guys, Michael, Tony, you see what Dex just wrote? I know you'll be able to understand.
Rusty very rarely talked to anyone, but I can tell you this: he's turning in his grave for picking Messino. I can tell you this much.
And you know what he's talking about.
I know exactly what he's talking about. He's talking about Rusty Rastelli. He's talking about Rusty Rastelli. Rusty had a lot of pull down in Long Island City, Ravenswood, and he had a guy down there who's my father was very friendly with, and I was friends with both of his sons. And there's another guy, because of Big Joe, he went missing one day and never came home. He went to Rusty with a bullshit story about a guy who was like Rusty's brother. And because the streets tell you to do certain things, he did it, and he regretted it every day after he did it. Way before Messino flipped, but he still put Messino in that spot.
I've always said in the earlier videos or.
Dex, you know what I'm talking about?
Whoever's got the I know exactly. 1,000,000%. Whoever's got the ear of somebody, you'll have a problem and you don't know it. And it could be over fucking jealousy, a made up lie, and you don't even know there's something going on, and they're gonna make a move on you just because somebody's got somebody's ear and you don't, and you didn't do nothing wrong, and you wind up missing.
This gentleman drove Rusty around a lot back in the day, and he also had a lot of pull at Pepsi.
You know what I mean, Mike?
Guys.
You understand? You know what I mean? Somebody's got somebody's ear. You don't know it, and there's a lot of jealousy in that life. A lot of jealousy, like in any walk of life. People get jealous for whatever reasons. You're better earning, you're better looking, you got all whatever. It could be the silliest thing, and you don't know they're whispering about you to somebody that's got power, and you wind up in the trunk, and you didn't for no reason.
Wow.
Well, Matt, you're absolutely right. He didn't. Not many guys had the will of John. I mean, I understand your point, and it's correct. But Messina did it where he couldn't lose. Messina had everything that he wanted to give them, but he gave it a shot and wanted himself to look like a hero first and went to trial. You know, a lot of people don't understand. Joe Messina went through a full trial, then flipped. And he came out like a fucking mutt that he is. You know, he couldn't go anywhere. Rusty was a great guy, man. I remember when I was a little kid. You know, but Joe Messina actually went through a trial, and when he lost, he then flipped. You know, so that tells you what kind of guy he is.
I tell you, I truly enjoyed, Jimmy could, last second, we had to make some changes. Next week, it'll be even be more exciting because we'll get Jimmy twice.
Hold on a second.
But tonight was exciting.
Now, hold on a second, Craig. I know the story of Ricardi, but I didn't know that he actually went through a trial and then gave up people. I thought he flipped during the trial, but Tommy is from that neighborhood. I'm not. So he's saying Ricardi went through a trial, then gave up information. That's a bunch of bullshit to me. And you know what? Jurors should be told that the guy went through a full fucking trial, lost, and then decided to give up people when he lost. There has to come up with a system. And no, I don't believe in we push back because there's too many divots in it. And I'll say that right up here. I believe there has to be a better system that's ran for these guys who decide to flip, who have it too well. You know, you can go through a trial and then if it don't work out your way, okay, I'm going to be a rat. Well, that's great. But you just kind of contradicted yourself by going through a full trial, denying it. But now when you were found guilty.
Grab it, Tommy, grab it.
Stiggs, grab the link.
Grab the link, Tommy.
You know, that's not cool stuff, man. You shouldn't. If you go through a trial, you should have a minimum of 10 years before you can talk against something. I mean, I don't have the answer, but there has to be something out there.
Welcome aboard, Mr. Stiggs.
Great show, guys. Great show. This is how you rescue a show and make it work. Beautifully done, guys.
Tommy, let me ask you a question.
Beautifully done. No, really. I got to compliment you guys. This is the way you pull it off. You probably came on saying, what are we going to do? And you ran with it, and you got a good show here.
Thank you very much. Tommy, you knew Tommy Ricardi. And what is it fair to say you were in pure shock when you found out?
Yeah, everybody was. Yeah, because you would never expect him. You would never. Yeah, I'll tell you all about it. You would never expect it to be him. They all went on trial for this murder. I don't know if Tommy actually got convicted of the murder. Marty definitely did not get convicted of the murder. Between conviction of racketeering, not murder, between the conviction of racketeering and sentencing, that's when Tommy went bad. And I don't know the real 100% details, but it looks like he put the body on Marty. But Marty was never convicted of the body. Marty was not at the scene. Marty was at the dentist. This is where the evidentiary hearing is getting approved, hopefully. Approved February 12th or 13th. He was at a dentist appointment up here where I am. The murder scene was in Toms River, New Jersey. It was in June. It was like June 13th. Somehow, someway, when they pulled the evidence records of the dentist appointment, somebody made it an 8. That's being brought into the case. There is misconduct in the case. Now, here's the good thing about the case. Well, the bad thing about it is he got life. Tommy got out. Right? Tommy's out. Right. Tommy did it about 3 or 4 years, whatever. The good thing about this is they took a 2-hour hearing. The first court case. The first court date, they took a 2-hour hearing to review all this evidence. Monday, they went back, and the judge absolutely said there is definitely we need to have an evidence hearing, however they want to say it. They're gonna look. Yeah, they're gonna look at everything. Now, what can happen is if this judge feels that it's warranted a new trial. What's going to happen, there's a good chance the case gets thrown out. Because what would have to happen is all the people that were in there, that means prosecutors and the rats, witnesses, would have to come back and testify. They were found to be not credible after the case. And the prosecutor, who was decorated, I guess that's how they speak of it, decorated. You know, he's a good prosecutor, whatever. He's in another jurisdiction. He's in Morris County, New Jersey right now. If they pull him out, they're going to really tarnish themselves. They may just say, fuck it. The case is over. Dismiss. They don't want to pull the prosecutor back in, and they don't want to pull these rats back in.
All right. Is that something similar to Anthony Sento or completely different?
No, I don't think so. I think
Sento got out after 38 years.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know. Is there any details about why he got out? Is it a compassion? Is it a
no? It wasn't compassionate release at all. What it was is that when you got life prior to, I believe, 88 or 87, whatever the fuck it was, that life was actually considered 35 years.
Yeah.
Considered life.
So he sent it under the old laws, old guidelines. Oh, okay. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe. So. Now look at you see Tommy Ricardi went bad, and I don't know how many guys who went bad on that. You were asking Tony. I'm not sure. I really don't know, and I will tell you why you don't know. He did go off into the sunset. He's not up here blasted. You know, some of these guys, if Marty was coming up on case right now, these guys would have a channel about it, going into all kinds of things. This guy's saying not a word.
Well, isn't it true that he could be called if there was another case, which I highly doubt? I think they're going to release him, from what I know of the case. But he would have to be brought up as a witness, correct?
Anybody that was on the case can be brought up again if they're alive.
All right. So now I'll give you a for instance, because I heard you guys talking about it last night, or maybe you talked about it this morning. John Panisi. Right. John Panisi is still on cases. His name's still. So does Mikey Scars, though. Mikey Scars
absolutely.
Is still here.
Oh, sure. They can be called anytime. People don't understand this. These guys are obligated to be called unless they say we stipulate we're a year. I'm giving you whatever you need for a year. Or I'm using a fake number, a year, 2 years, whatever it might be. And let's that's stipulated. They call you not as a witness to the case. They call you as what's called a You have an understanding of it. What's it called?
Almost like an expert.
That's it. That's the word. That's the word, Tony. Right. That's the word, Tony. So these guys are obligated. They're in the program. Some of them are in the program for life, and their agreements must be they can be called at any time to go to a trial.
All right, I'll give you for instance of what that means. Chicklet, who Tommy Stiggs gave the name to that piece of shit, Sakali, was the liaison and expert to give testimony on John Gotti Jr. Okay? Never met him, never spoke to him. But he was a witness at his death penalty case. Did you know that?
No, because he was an expert witness, right?
He was. Hold on, Craig, hold on. Sakali was brought when John was on for the death penalty to be the expert witness and trying to say how he set up what John Gotti did for that family. Absolutely fucking ridiculous what they'll do.
Expert witness. Yeah.
You know, and you can sit up there and have no problem with doing that. You're a scumbag. But let me ask you a question, because I think you got the same feeling about one guy as I do. A lot of people say Mikey Scars is a good rat. First of all, I think he's just as bad as anybody else. But Mikey Scars actually has the most bodies put in prison under one rat.
86? What is the number, Tony?
84.
Oh, my God. Crazy.
Fucking.
So Scars put away 84 people, but because he talks nice sometimes about people here and there, they want to say he's a better rat. What about the fucking 86 people he put behind bars? Go ahead, Tommy, all yours.
Dressing nice and speaking well does not cover up what you actually are.
But
Tommy's
right.
But a lot of the people, you know, who say he's the better rat, call Sakali a scumbag. Well, now they're buddies and hang out together all the time. So there you go.
Imagine there's a better rat than the other. It's crazy.
No, I don't believe
Can you imagine? Now we're putting rats in different levels. Oh my God.
Well, you know what? I like. You know what? Fuck the 86 families he destroyed and brothers. He's a nice rat. He's a nice rat. He talks nice. I like him.
Yeah, it's 86 times 10 because there's 10 people in that family of 86. It's 800.
Absolutely.
All right. Phil Leonetti was in Marty's case as well.
Yes, he testified too. Yes.
Holy
I just saw that. Yeah.
Yes, he did. He came up here and testified. Yep, he did.
Now I give you.
I don't know if they used. I don't know if they used him as an expert or did they have a conversation about this situation.
I don't know. I'm just reading what I'm reading on here. It says that Phil Leonetti and Bucky is saying it too. Phil Leonetti was used in Marty's case. Right?
He was. He came to Tom's River. This was in Tom's River. Yes.
Here's what I find amazing. A guy who's got 10, 12 hits or has participated in them could actually get out of jail by telling on somebody else. I don't believe in that bullshit at all. That's
disgusting.
Ridiculous.
Not for bodies. No, there's nothing for that. No. Took a life.
I mean, you talk about this Gravano. All right. I'm going to bring it up because I was talking to somebody on the plane about it, believe it or not. He put away what, 21 or 22 bodies in total, or 19 they're saying, but he's admitted to other ones here and there. How the fuck can you believe him because some of the evidence isn't submittable in a case?
Yeah, no good.
It's ridiculous, man.
Well, if Marty's case gets tossed, there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of things going on in the court system. This is going to change things if this happens.
Oh, absolutely, because everybody will be saying, and they'll be hiring expert lawyers again and saying, well, you can't bring this one, they can't bring that one into the courtroom no more, or they won't bring them into the courtroom no more. Maybe we got a shot at getting a new trial.
Yeah.
Everybody was getting excited with Vinny Basciano, maybe fighting one case. People forgetting he got double life sentences. So crazy. I don't know where everybody was getting their information with that one.
Yeah. Marty's got to get home. He's got to be with his wife the rest of his years. I don't know if you guys know, but he buried his son. Angelo.
I know.
And so he's got to get home. It's time.
How old
70.
Is Marty?
Yeah, I was going to say
73. I think 73 now.
So in today's day, Marty still got himself another 20 years to live the right way. And especially, I was telling them, and I think you know better than I would know. The three guys I know who knew him said he doesn't complain a fucking thing about what's going on back there.
Nothing. And he knows this is all being spoken of. He my friend talks to him every day on the phone. So it's Interesting. His brother got out after 25 years. He just got out. Michael got out not that long, a couple of years ago.
Beautiful project.
So, was he ratted on as well?
Well, they pled guilty to a racketeering conspiracy, took 25 years and can never be charged again. Not sure if there were witnesses in the case. I don't remember.
All right, if I read it right, and I only read it, nobody told me personally that there were 2 witnesses on the case and they took a plea deal.
It's possible. It could be Joey Alonso, and it could even be Tommy Ricardi. It could be Joey Alonso and Tommy Ricardi.
It says on here, Ricardi is part of that deal.
Yeah, it could be Ricardi, and it could be Joey Alonso was another one, but Joey Alonso was the junk box. So dismissed him somewhat, so to speak, and Tommy would be a good witness back then for the prosecution. It's terrible.
All right, what do you think about these degenerates that go up there and they got to take 6 months to clean their act up that are junk boxes in real life? And you know what I'm talking about, not just bad people.
Yeah.
They fuck with junk, all right, up their nose and their arm. Mm-hmm. And prosecutors actually take 6 months to get these people prepared, and you can't use that against them in trial half the time. Because
they can say, wait 6 months because they can say they're working a step program. And if they have success in the step, I'm learning all about this, Tony, all of this stuff.
I know about it because my son.
So that's what they're doing. They'll delay a trial, and they'll take the trial, delay it for 6 months because you can get to apparently like step 5 or 6 or whatever in 6 months, whatever it is. I don't know step programs, but you can get to a certain point, and when you get to a certain point, it kind of shows promising progress. Now you become credible that you are that you're. It's crazy, but that's what they're doing.
Now, look,
you're right.
I pull for personal reasons for people to recover from any addiction.
God, of course.
Yeah.
Oh God, of course.
But
no.
I don't think you should be allowed to testify in a trial, knowing all the shit you did and the delusions you had during half of that lifestyle. I think there has to be, at some point, with all the bullshit rats that are going in there, a lot of guys are seeing what they're doing and what they're making afterwards. Fuck this, I'm going to rat, and then I got a career, because nothing's going to happen no more. I wouldn't say never is nothing's going to happen, but, it's just a feeling that you got to be stupid to do anything in the street today. You got to be a real moron.
Yep. Absolutely. I wouldn't even jaywalk these days. I mean, listen, I didn't do anything. I haven't done anything wrong in over 25, 30 years, but, there's people that, I wouldn't even jaywalk. I wouldn't even consider it.
I tell you what I've seen. I've seen guys who their friends have disappeared for 2 days on a family vacation, and they never spoke to their best friends again because of all this bullshit, thinking that they turned bad. You can't trust anybody no more out there.
Nah, man, you can't do it no more. No way.
How about this? In the last month, exactly a month to the day, 2 guys 85 years or older are going to the can. That's ridiculous.
Crazy.
That's ridiculous. Benjamin went away. Ram went away. One's 86. One's 85. I mean, that's fucking ridiculous.
Hopefully Benji does good. He got a good, he got a little break there. Hopefully he's healthy. I don't know how healthy he is, but that would be a great, he got a little break there. They wanted 2 years, and he got 15 months.
They wanted 6.
They wanted 6, but
and the judge said, you know what, 3, and then she gave him 14 months. She said, but with good, everything works right, you'll be home in 11 months.
Yeah.
He's got diabetes. He's got very bad diabetes and some other issues. He's going to be 87.
You need the treatment, and you're not going to get the treatment in there. Something that's very treatable and controllable.
Just pray it's home.
Leads to lethal. Unfortunately.
All right,
one more
guys,
thing.
We've been on.
Go
ahead, Tommy.
Wait, one more thing before you go. You hear a lot of people say about the rats, you turned your life around, but you're not acting like you did. That is so wrong. No rat ratted to become a choir boy. They ratted, they made the chess move, and they fucking won. There's no remorse. There is nothing. They did not rat to turn their life around. They made a rat. They became a rat just to get out of what they were in. That's all.
All right. I got an idea of a show, and I hope you would come on. I got 5 instances of guys who are high-profile rats who were rearrested for crimes.
Beautiful.
I want to do that in about a week or two, right before the Super Bowl. I'd like to do. All right, I'll get to you. I got a
Give me
list
2
of
days
5
notice.
dates.
I'm good. Tell me whatever you guys need. I'm always around. I'm here for you guys.
I got a list of 5 right now, and you'd be amazed that I'm surprised they denied trials on guys that were already away for these guys still committing crimes. And I just think this government is much as a fucking criminal as anybody right now.
Let's do it. 5 rap breakdown. Guys. We're gonna call it the 5 rap breakdown. We'll get the nice get into the nuts and bolts of it. Do it on your channel right here, and we'll promote it everywhere. So
now you're gonna really get couldn't tell me to show.
Yeah, we'll promote it everywhere. I promote it on my show. You know, I promote everything. I've been talking about it for a week before we do it. So
I'll take sedatives that night so I don't get excited.
Yeah, all right, guys. We got to call it a wrap. It is getting late.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on. Tone, I'll take care of the chat. Tommy, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Tommy, Real Deal, thank you so much. Everybody in the chat that stuck it out, thank you. Baywatch, Joe Town, Maddie, Chris Gorky, Sino Eagle, Il Toro, Maddie, again, Terry, Cinnamon Girl, always, you know that. Kelly, Bucky, Mikey, Dex Dallas, Sino Eagle again. I always Tommy Stiggs, Kelly again, Gianni, GT Rad, Baywatcher, Brooklyn 123, Eugene, Cinnamon Girl, say you again, and you were the Joe Town Jack, my man. Everybody, Davey T, Maddie, Sweeney, all. I hope I didn't miss nobody. I pray I didn't miss nobody. If I see no evil, if I did, I apologize. Let me know in the comments. I miss you, Chris Breeder. Project DARPA, okay? Thank you so much. If I missed anybody, Michael, thank you for coming on. If I missed anybody, it's a pleasure. If I missed anybody, let me know in the comments. It's not on purpose. Believe me, we try not to ever miss a soul, but sometimes it's tough. I don't know what we're going to do when we have 1 million subs. I really don't. Just be well. God bless everybody. Be safe. Get home safe. If you're not home already, thank you for coming. Love all you guys for showing up. Tonight turned out to be a great show. Awesome. 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 Dave T, love you. Gianni, love you. Joe Town Jack. Mikey again. Real Deal Tommy. Maddie. Nothing but love. Dex, love you guys. Talk to you soon. Be home. Be well. Take care of your families. Love you. Be safe. Mikey, be safe, brother.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless.
God bless you.